Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Master Sword 11, and today I just want to talk about Metroid Prime 4 for a little bit. And now, before I start talking about this, I feel very passionately about this game and franchise. I've been a Metroid fan, specifically a Metroid Prime fan, for basically my entire life. And I have been waiting for this game since I was 12 years old. I am 20. Put that into perspective for a little bit. I was in middle school when this game was announced. It was year one of the Switch One. I just checked it on YouTube. It was 8 years ago that they announced this game, and the first trailer didn't come out till like a year ago, basically. And it's been confirmed that I believe the game comes out on December 4th, 2025, and it's currently less than a month away. So I'm super excited to try the game once it finally comes out. I pre-ordered it. I think it's the only game I've ever pre-ordered ever. I can't think of any other ones that I did the same for. I might have pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom. I don't remember though. But yeah, so there's a few things that I want to talk about with this, and I'm going to just go ahead and get right into it. And now the first thing I want to talk about is the trailers that we've gotten thus far. The first trailer that we got 8 years ago, completely different version of the game than what we're getting now. The reason a lot of people don't know this, but the reason that this game has taken so long to produce and come out is because this game was actually being developed by a different team, and then Nintendo scrapped that whole project like 2-3 years into it, and then hired on Retro Studios, who made the first three games and the Donkey Kong Country Return games, to make the fourth entry into their own series, which I think was the great call, because what I'm seeing, at least in these trailers, looks awesome. I cannot wait to play this game. The game looks amazing, and I actually bought a Switch 2 for this game because I wanted it to run the best it possibly can, and for me to have an enjoyable experience with it. The scanning looks like it did in the originals. Just a lot of the gameplay aspects looks like they do in the originals, but improved upon. But there's one thing that a lot of people are talking about that I do want to touch on, and it's the motorcycle and the fact that the game looks a lot like an open world. And a lot of people online have been talking about it like this is a really bad thing and it's going to ruin the game. I do not agree with this. I've been saying that I think the whole reason that Metroid Prime 4 for years, I've been saying this for years. The reason that it's been taking so long is because it's going to be a game with a big scope. And that looks like that's what we're getting with the whole motorcycle scenes in the trailer, the huge desert, the expansive world. Who knows how much of that is actually traversable? And I'm thinking if they take a more Breath of the Wild approach with this game, then I think that Metroid will have a chance to be in the spotlight, like Zelda did back when the Switch One dropped, and gain a lot more fans and just general people knowing about the franchise and just haven't played the game. I think it's going to do wonders for the franchise if this game ends up being more open-ended and good, because the game does still have to be good. But I'm really looking forward to driving around in that motorcycle. I don't know about y'all, but that looks like peak gameplay to me, and it draws a lot of similarities when you think about it to Breath of the Wild, because they added a motorcycle to that game, kind of more open world. Maybe they looked at that, saw like, Metroid, because I think it's kind of dope that Samus gets to have a motorcycle. It feels very in character, more in character than it did for Link. But also, I do want to talk about it. I touched on this earlier, but the graphics for this game look amazing. It's a Nintendo Switch game, so it's obviously not going to be like state of the art, but it looks very good. It looks very pretty. And I just can't wait to see it for myself on my own system. And the last thing that I really want to touch on in this video, because there's not really too much to talk about yet, seeing as the game isn't out, is what I want the game to do. And the first thing I want to talk about is like location variety, which it looks like we're getting. You know, there was the big desert in the trailer, there were the big snowy mountains in the distance, there was an area with a bunch of trees. So it looks like there's going to be a good mix. And there was like a lava area as well. So it looks like there's going to be a good mix of different locations to explore, which is always my favorite part of Metroid games. And I hope they do well with, fleshing each area out. The other thing, the enemies, I hope we get a mix of like some classic enemies and some new enemies. I know the like big villain is like the mysterious character we saw at the end of Prime 3, I think. So we don't really know much about the main villain yet, but we did see Metroids in the trailer and we did see space pirates in the trailer with the iconic theme music that we all know and love. So that's a really good sign. It looks like Retro Studios put a lot of care and love into this project, and them being my favorite game developers of all time, and also this being my favorite series of all time. I've beat Metroid Prime 1 like 8 times, 100%ed it. I'm looking very forward to seeing how this project comes out, and I will definitely be making a video about it when it does release. So with that being said, I want to leave y'all with that. Let me know y'all's opinions of the game so far in the comments. Like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see y'all next time.